United Airlines has a small fleet of 21 Boeing 757-300s, all inherited from Continental. It's one of just 5 carriers to use the variant, and it has more than any other, both in total and in active service. Often used on leisure and hub-to-hub routes, let's take a closer look at how the airline uses this stretched 757 variant. Looking at its deployments, we see that Chicago O'Hare is the best airport to see the 757-300, with Denver-Houston being one of the best routes to fly them. At the time of preparing this video, all but 3 of United's 757-300s are presently being used, with 18 in active service. Perhaps surprisingly, the airline now has almost as many operational 757-200s, 21, as the larger variant, according to chaviation.com. Or maybe it isn't surprising, given how United has progressively retired the 757-200s, as vividly illustrated in this figure. We can also see that the use of the Dash 300 has been remarkably steady. United's middle-of-the-market narrow-body 757-300s are ordinarily used on relatively short routes with high density requirements. These are typically hub-to-hub or leisure-focused, more or less the same broad role for many of the USA's domestic wide-body services. United's Dash 300s were reconfigured in 2018 to improve the hard product and increase seating density to 234 seats. More seats have helped to increase revenue per flight, but also to reduce the cost per seat mile. Thus, in the past few years, it has become an even more competitive machine. As such, it's unlikely that they'll be retired soon. However, the same was expected of Delta's 777s, which were retrofitted with Delta One, and also American and its A330-200s, which were reconfigured. Yet both were removed as the pandemic struck. At only 18.9 years of average age, United's 757-300s are not especially old, although they're slightly more mature than the carrier's overall average of 16.5 years. This is due to so many new aircraft being introduced. When retirement does come, which is likely to be a few years away, the Boeing 737 MAX 10 will most likely replace them. United has around 11,800 round-trip flights planned with the Dash 300 this year, examining data provided by the carrier to OAG reveals. Chicago O'Hare sees the lion's share of them, about 5,400 flights, followed closely behind by Denver, about 5,000. In contrast, San Francisco always used to be important for the type. In 2019, the airport saw nearly 4 in 10 757-300 flights, second only to Chicago. However, in 2021, San Francisco has few services by them, with the airport among the worst hit in the country by coronavirus. The 757-300 is scheduled to operate 55 routes this year, all domestic, including a good number of one-offs. The leading 10 routes, shown here, have almost 9 in 10 757-300 flights, with Denver-Houston very much placed at number 1. Looking back to 2019, this route wasn't even in the top 10 list. How things change. One of the Simple Flying team members flew on a Condor 757-300 from Larnaca to Dusseldorf a few years ago. What about you? Have you flown this 757 variant? If so, what are your memories of it? Let us know by commenting. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles and a podcast every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe before you go.